Breaking news from Major League Baseball, where Shohei Ohtani is signing with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
On everything out in LA with the Dodgers securing yet another star, the second crown jewel of free agency in Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Every year the Dodgers spend lots of money and they do great in the regular season, but have only won the World Series once since 1988. Now they have added Shohei Ohtani, Tyler Glasgow, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto to a team that already has Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, and JD Martinez. They have no excuses now. It is World Series or bust for the Dodgers. Right now, because Ohtani's only taking $2 million a year from the Dodgers and getting the other $680 million after his contract is up, the Dodgers are still way under the luxury tax. There's still no guarantees though.
And let's be clear about one thing. You can't buy a championship. What you can do is you can buy an opportunity to win a championship. You can buy optimism for players. You can buy optimism for a fan base, but ultimately you still got to go on the field and play. And it's difficult to win. That's why you celebrate when you win, because it's difficult to do. So just because you have a high payroll doesn't guarantee a championship.
The Dodgers have the pieces and they have the resources, but they still need to go out and execute. If it was possible to buy championships, the Dodgers would have easily won the World Series more than once since 1988, while having one of the highest payrolls in Major League Baseball every year. In 2022, the Dodgers won 111 games and still couldn't make it out of the NLDS. This past season, they were the second best team in the National League record-wise and third best overall, yet they lost in the NLDS again. This was already inexcusable to begin with for the second richest team in Major League Baseball, but now after the moves they made, it's even more inexcusable now. The Dodgers had a very good bullpen this past season and their three best relievers are still in the team. However, they didn't have great starting pitching last season. Clayton Kershaw hasn't had a fully healthy season in years, but is great in the regular season when he is healthy. We also know his history of getting lit up in the playoffs. This year he didn't even last a full inning against the Diamondbacks in the NLDS. The Dodgers should have the leverage to re-sign a guy who's been their ace since 2009. Outside of Kershaw, Walker Buehler was injured and the other starting pitchers just weren't good. Buehler not having pitched in almost 2 years makes him a question mark, so this makes getting Yamamoto and Glasgow a huge win for the Dodgers. It's also not the end of the world if they don't re-sign Kershaw. We've seen guys like Hideo Nomo, Ichiro, Hideki Matsui, Yu Darvish, Masahiro Tanaka, and Shohei Ohtani succeed at the major league level coming from Japan, but we've also seen some flops like Hideki Irabu, Tsuyoshi Shinjo, Kaz Matsui, Kei Igawa, and Yoshimoto Tsugo. I'm convinced that Yamamoto will thrive. He's only 5'10", definitely not as big as the average major league pitcher, but his fastball averages at 95 miles per hour and tops at 99. His splitter is his primary secondary pitch that he can throw at 88 to 91 miles per hour with a lot of depth to make opposing hitters hit weak ground balls and swing and miss. He also has a rainbow curveball that freezes batters from both sides of the plate. He didn't throw his curveball often in Japan, but according to Baseball America, is projected to throw it more often while pitching for the Dodgers. To round off his arsenal, he has a cutter that he throws in the low 90s. Yamamoto has amazing command, averaging just 2.1 walks per 9 innings in his NPB career, and has a great feel for mixing his pitches and making quick in-game adjustments. Lastly, he is the first pitcher since the 50s to win Japan's equivalent of the Cy Young Award, the Sawamura Award, 3 times in a row. There may be concerns about his durability due to his 5'10" frame and having to adjust from pitching once a week to every 5 days. These are reasonable concerns, especially given that Japanese pitchers often have arm injuries when they come to Major League Baseball. Yamamoto has a clean health record as of now, but if he does get injured, the Dodgers better have that next man up mentality. Mookie Betts, for the most part, has not been very good in the playoffs, and even after having his best regular season as a Dodger, which was good enough to get him second in NL MVP voting, he went hitless in the playoffs. The Dodgers also better hope Freddie Freeman can revert back to what he was with the Braves in the playoffs when he played a huge part in them winning the World Series. He played great in the 2022 NLDS against the Padres, however, he was another reason why the Dodgers had an early exit, as he only had 100 in this past season's NLDS. Only Will Smith and Kike Hernandez did any good for the Dodgers at the plate against the Diamondbacks, and Kike is currently a free agent. If he re-signs, he's only a utility player anyways, so the Dodgers need their regulars to step it up come playoff time, and at the very least, Ohtani's presence alone should put less pressure on the rest of the lineup. We have yet to see Ohtani play in the Major League playoffs, but he did hit 375 in the 2016 Japan series, which his team won, so I have a feeling that he can perform when the lights get bright. Yamamoto has also proven that he can perform under pressure in Japan. In this year's Japan series, he got lit up in the first game, but he bounced back in Game 6, throwing 138 pitches while striking out a Japan series record 14 batters to help his team force a Game 7. As Yogi Berra once said, baseball is 90% mental, the other half is physical. The way Yamamoto was able to bounce back from adversity in the Japan series definitely tells me he is built for the spotlight. The Dodgers even have the 10th best farm system in Major League Baseball, so this could also help them when it comes to the trade deadline, and they can go get a rental star that helps them out, or maybe even a guy who stays long term to keep the Dodgers at the top. Just another reason why a few injuries here and there really shouldn't kill the Dodgers. While of course you want to win this year, and anything short of that will be considered a failure, this team has a 10 to 12 year window with the contracts they just signed. In the best case scenario, Ohtani can pitch again, injury free after 2024, Walker Buehler reverts back to what he was pre-injury when he returns, and Clayton Kershaw re-signs to give the Dodgers whatever he still has left in the tank and not choke in the playoffs. The sky's the limit, and not just right now. Even if these things don't happen, they still have enough resources to respond and be okay. They can even go after Blake Snell right now. They will have to pay $680 million to Ohtani after his contract is up, but the Dodgers have had the best fan attendance in Major League Baseball every year for the last decade, excluding the 2020 COVID season with no fans. Now they should expect to have their games flooded by Japanese tourists. Unless some catastrophe happens, they should be fine money-wise. As for how I feel about my Yankees not getting Yamamoto, obviously I'm disappointed, but I actually won't excoriate Brian Cashman for this. Once Ohtani came to the Dodgers, the writing was already on the wall that Yamamoto is joining him. The Yankees actually offered Yamamoto a higher AAV, but Yamamoto took the longer contract. That said, it's time for Brian Cashman to get busy. Even with Juan Soto, there's still way too many question marks in that lineup, and outside of Garrett Cole, there's too many question marks in that rotation as well, especially after trading Michael King, who's not only really good out of the bullpen, he even gave the Yankees some quality starts this past season. So that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, a like would be much appreciated. If you could please consider subscribing and turning on notifications, your support is much appreciated. And if you're already subscribed, thank you for your support as always. Links to my social media are down below. And if there's anything you think the Dodgers will do to stack their team more, whether you think they'll finally win a World Series in a full season in front of sellout crowds, or they'll still continue to come up short, please let me know in the comments. Here's my most recent video and the one that YouTube recommends. Feel free to click either one. Thank you so much for watching, and happy holidays. Peace.